What's up guys, Spin Firearms here. This may be a little bit ridiculous of a video, but we're basically just going to compare the Gforce Arms Rapture GF9 to many other carry options. And I have a lot of stuff I'm going to announce about this handgun. I've been really doing some research, I've been testing it with holsters and stuff like that. And so far it runs in my Glock 26 holsters. So that's a pretty solid thing, even though people are complaining about the magazines not being Glock mags. That's the whole point of it. It makes it so much thinner. And people were saying this is Glock 26 width. No, it's not. This is Glock 26 width. Notice this line right here. That's where the frame gets thinner. They used metal mags instead of polymer mags, allowing it to be a thinner handgun with good capacity and still run Glock 26 compatible parts. Absolutely genius if you ask me. So, this was actually my biggest video on YouTube ever. Not my biggest YouTube short, but my biggest actual video. You guys absolutely crushed it. You went there, you watched it, and I appreciate it. And that helped expand it to other audiences and other people who normally don't view the channel. And a lot of people seemed interested in this thing. And a lot of other people said it's a budget option. You can't trust your life with it. Well, I put over 300 rounds through this. Ate everything. Put a couple boxes of hollow points through it. It ate everything. I burned it down. 6 mags in a row. It ate everything. Accuracy, I did controlled mag dumps. Somewhat controlled, like center controlled mag dumps. Ran flawlessly. Smoking hot. Burned to the touch. Ran flawlessly. So I can't really complain. I can't talk about reliability or the fact that it doesn't run or the mag catch doesn't or the mag release doesn't release the mag, because there was no issues with any of it. Everything functioned the way a handgun should function. Now, for instance, if those mags didn't release properly, I would state that. Slide didn't lock back, I would state that. If there was malfunctions, you would have saw it. Didn't happen. So overall, solid handgun. Before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. We're just going to be going through and comparing these to other everyday carry options, because it's sort of hard to see through video how big the handgun is or how small it is. So let's just get started. Where is my Glock 26? It's somewhere around here. Can't find it. Let's get started with the Shield Plus first. 13+1, but using a Mag Guts kit, so that doesn't, you got to pay extra money for that. Look how much thinner up top, but look at the frame. It's also thinner for the shield. 13+1 on the right, 12+1 on the left. Length, pretty comparable. Then we're going to go to Smith & Wesson M&P 40C, 10+1 of 40 versus 12+1 of 9. But obviously much thinner in the frame and even the slide, and shorter. Now let's go Ruger LC9S. Obviously much thinner, and it's only 7+1 versus 12+1, and it does have a whole grip on it, so it makes it look a little bigger. Beretta. Oh wait, I said popular everyday carry options. Thing's a piece of trash. All right, Hellcat 15+1 and 9 versus 12+1 on the left. How thin it is. We do a Hellcat Pro. It's going to be the same length and stuff like that because they use the same mags. 15+1 and 9 on the right. 12+1 on the left, obviously thinner, longer, shorter, fatter. Now we can go HK P2000 SK, that's 9+1 of 40. Obviously, it's going to be wider overall, but pretty comparable in length, I guess. Then length of the overall slide, pretty comparable as well. Now there she is. Woo! Glock 26. This is what this thing was inspired on. Look at these side by side, right? Footprint. Dang near on, because I have this base plate on. So this is 13+1, this is 12+1. Now look at the uppers. The uppers are the same width, but look at the frame. I don't have any grips on the side of this handgun. The frame is thinner. Look at this. See that? And it's because they use metal mags. They both feel good in the hand, but look, 13+1 on the right, 12+1 on the left. So you do see where the Glock 26 wins, but with base plates. That's the key. 12+1 on the right, 12+1 on the left. The Canik meant the MC9. Like I said, pretty spot on when I compared the Hellcat and Canik having a baby and making this thing with a hint of Glock 26. Look, pretty cool. Now Glock 19, obviously this is 15+1 versus 12+1 on the left. It's going to be longer, same width, all that. Let's go P365, because a lot of people love the P365. Once again, 12+1 versus 12+1. And it's much thinner. And if you guys are wondering about that back plate that looks sick on that P365, that is from Tyrant. Tyrant mag release as well. Looks really cool. 12+1 versus 12+1. So it does beat the Rapture. Now let's go something comparable. The Stoeger STR9 Subcompact 10+1 versus 12+1 on the left. I'm going to try and keep the Rapture on the left always. You can see where the Rapture gets rounds from. Look at the width. Look at how skinny the Rapture is. It's actually pretty cool when you compare them up to stuff like this. Now let's do something funny. 10+1 Ruger LCP Max. The LCP Max is just a unicorn. It really is. It's the only pocket pistol with crazy capacity of this size. I mean, look at it. It's insane. Now let's check out the Masada Slim 13+1. The Masada Slim is interesting because it does something similar. It has this line right here, and that's where it becomes thinner. Then your upper part of your frame gets wider to match the width of that slide, and that's another reason the Masada shoots so well. Look how thick that slide is. It's about Glock 26 width, but then you go in the frame. These are actually very comparable in the frame. I think the Masada might be a little bit thinner, just a little bit though. Then we can do a popular single stack, Glock 43. Let me switch hands. 7+1 on the right. And then we got 12+1 on the left. P365 XL, 12+1 on the right, 12+1 on the left. These are going to be comparable because that base plate doesn't add anything. Length. And this does have a 3.25 inch barrel, which I found very interesting because the Glock 26 is a 3.4 inch barrel. And when I looked at that and was trying to understand why, I couldn't quite figure it out. But I'm going to be doing more research and try and figure out how it's compatible with a different barrel length and all that stuff. So, pretty confusing, but I'm looking into it. 15+1 on the right for the dagger and 12+1 on the left, but obviously the dagger is wider in that frame. Smith & Wesson shield. This will basically represent any shield. It is a Shield 40, but in 357 SIG, and I love saying it's in 357 SIG because it drives people crazy. I don't know why it bothers them so much, but it does. It's sort of funny. All right, 7+1 with mag guts on the right, 12+1 on the left, and obviously it's much thinner. It's a single stack. Not really comparable firearms. Here's a good one though, Glock 43X. Now remind yourself, you should only carry OEM mags. Therefore, the 43X should technically represent 10+1 and not 15+1 with this dagger mag. I do not carry it with any aftermarket mags. So 10+1 on the right, 12+1 on the left. And we got a winner. Look at the width. The Rapture beats the 43X. Pretty crazy. Told you guys, this is a game changer. 12+1 Smith & Wesson Subcompact 2.0. Look at that. Look how much thinner. Look at the slides. Crazy. But I do have to say that the M&P 40C and this have really good recoil impulse. Really handles the recoil really well. Let's get into some more subcompacts real quick. Ruger SR9C. That's going to be 10+1 on the right. Look at the weird shape of the SR9C what do you call it, slide. It's actually pretty crazy. But 10+1, 12+1, pretty comparable. This one is thinner though. Let's do the XD9 subcompact, one of my favorite handguns. 13+1 versus 12+1. Very interesting. Look how much wider the XD is. Pretty crazy. And then up top, sorry, forget to do the up tops. Pretty comparable. Even though the subcompact, the XD, has a 3-inch barrel. We can do the CSX because I know a lot of people like it. A lot of people don't. It's all preference. 12+1 on the right, 12+1 on the left, so it does beat the Rapture. But width, I think they're pretty even, to be honest. Pretty even in width. Pretty cool. And we can do the CZ P10S because this is their subcompact. This is 12+1, and it's for about $350 right now. And then right here we got the GF9 from Gforce Arms that is $330 and 12+1. But obviously, once again, it's going to be thinner. That's why they did that with the mags. People are saying, oh, you're crazy for not using Glock mags. But then it's like, the point is to make it thinner, right? More concealable. That's where the market's going. Stuff like this right here. FN Reflex, 15+1 versus 12+1. I mean, look at that. Width in the frame is very similar. Look at the width, guys. But it still has that heavier slide to manage recoil. This thing is actually a pretty smooth shooting handgun. I was very surprised. And on top of that, what I'm about to I'm honestly going to go and email Gforce because I think what would be genius of them is to sell a kit, right? And it would just be the frame, mag catch, and mag. And that way you can run all your Glock 26 stuff with it, but you can get this awesome textured frame with a different grip angle, with backstrap options. So you can basically turn your Gen 3 into something that's thinner, more textured, and so on. And when it comes down to reliability, I can't even talk about it because there hasn't been any issues. So far so good. GX4 on the right, which is another firearm that would be competing with the Rapture. Obviously, the Rapture is going to be thicker. 11+1 on the right, 12+1 on the left. Pretty comparable. Pretty dang comparable. Solid. And then last but not least, maybe not the most popular option, but a Glock 30 versus the Rapture. That's going to be 12+1 on the right of 45, 12+1 and 9 on the left. Look at width. Pretty interesting, guys. So, a couple things I wanted to touch on with the Gforce is when it comes to holster options, it still tends to fit my Glock 26 holsters so far. I've only tried a couple, but it's worked. Therefore, all my Glock 26 holsters technically run in with this handgun, and that's a big thing. The other thing I want to say is I haven't tried any Beretta 92 mags yet. I'm not 100% sure if they 100% run Beretta 92 mags, or they're just saying the mags are the same dimensions as the 92 but have a different cutout for that mag catch. And I'm thinking that's what it is. I'm thinking it may not run Beretta 92 mags, but instead just mags that were based off of those mags. So like I said, it's thinner simply because that frame gets wider at this line, as you can see. Pretty crazy, super smart. But here's the thing, guys. Forget the Glock 26. Forget Beretta 92. This is a solid handgun. I don't care what anyone says. This is a solid handgun. And I think what really makes this handgun is the ergonomics and texturing. It feels really good in the hand. It feels better than the Canik Meta MC9. It feels about the same as a Taurus GX4. They're obviously different grips, but they're both very comfortable. They feel good. It feels better than my FN Reflex. It feels a little bit better than my Masada Slim. It feels just like really good in the hand. So that's a big thing for me. And then once I started shooting it, I really like the trigger. I love the memory pads, but I do love those sights as well. The sights just work great. When you pull that trigger, the handgun barely moves. If you control it well enough, it's going nowhere. Recoil impulse is well made. Everything about this I like so far. So like I said, I ordered a holster before I did my research and found out I could be using my other holsters. So I will have a holster specifically designed for this handgun, but at the same time I can run it with my other Glock 26 holsters. Just a good solid budget option. And here's the thing about budget options. My GX4s been 100% solid. Smith & Wesson Shield 40, $300, 100% reliable. And we surpassed 1,000 rounds with this thing right here. Let's see what else we got. Shield Plus I would consider budget, 100% reliable. Where's my CZ at? Dagger, 100% reliable. Stoker, 100% reliable. I mean, I could just keep going. Like, I honestly could just keep picking up my budget firearms. If they run, they run. It's about testing. Yesterday, I sort of torture tested this. I didn't dump a bunch of sand or any gunk into it or anything like that. But I just burned it out, shot back-to-back mags over and over and over again. Let the thing heat up, let the thing get uncomfortable, extreme conditions, and it ran. Therefore, I can't say anything negative about it. Ran hollow points. I was very surprised. Not a single issue, multiple types of hollow points, and we will be doing the full review and shooting review. I'm going to hit 1,000 rounds on this, and then we're going to touch on it again. But so far, so good. And the finish is solid. I mean, the finish is, look at that. It's almost a Glockish finish. It's actually a really solid finish. So far, so good. Shout out to Gforce, because this pistol, in my opinion, is a game changer. A thin Glock 26. Thanks for watching, guys.